Hi, it's Valerie Ling sitting in the car. So listen to the rhythm of the falling rain. I think it's telling me what a fool I've been. I think so. Hello, good evening. Soft rest and hard rest. You know what seems to come up when I am approached to do a workshop or a seminar about staying afloat, not burning out, things like that? There is a little bit of a nervousness, I think, that what's she actually going to say? Because I've probably already done everything. It's not really going to make much of a difference. Yada, yada, yada. And maybe she might even say to our team and our staff that they should just stop and rest and do less. Well, not really. You see, life is about embracing what is in front of us. Hard times don't disappear. That's a fact. Hard times don't necessarily get easier. Demands don't just fall off. And so what are we meant to do? The best thing that we can do is to figure out how we're going to actually sometimes go around things, sometimes chip away at things, sometimes change direction. All of that requires really helping ourselves to increase our capacity. That's the aim of the game, increasing our capacity. Now, some of it is a mindset thing, being compassionate with ourselves, really getting into the rubrics and what is happening in here when we're making ourselves feel guilty, ashamed, resentful, angry, bitter, all of that. Some of that is there. And some of it is actually making some planned, intentional efforts to do a couple of things. Listen to our intuitive cues and to rest. So I want to talk to you about soft rest and hard rest being a concept that actually opens up our options to think about what rest really does. At the end of the day, there are a couple of functions that rest provides for us. It is restorative, so it helps to actually restore some stuff within us. It's regenerative. It helps us to grow some stuff within us. It also it helps us to give our bodies a physical rest. So for me, a soft rest and a hard rest are things to actually, where you can, plan ahead in your year. Soft rest, however, is even more important when you're attending to intuitive cues. So let me explain soft rest and a hard rest. A hard rest is when you know in advance you're going to do an all stop. Okay, and you plan for it. So I believe there is a bunch of thinking and probably some research about mindful holidays. Mindful holidays are ones where you plan, you're intentional about heading for a holiday, and when you're in the holiday in itself, you decide that you probably, will log off, not check your email, give yourself permission to really just stay in the present and enjoy the things that are in front of you. And so a hard rest is a mindful rest. If you've got young kids, that's very difficult to do. So you play the long game, grab whatever moments of peace you can get in a holiday and try not to make it too frantic. That's a hard rest. Most of us probably do this once a year. That's a really great idea to do that. How long? Well, personal preference, season of life, what you can handle. There was a time when, I wasn't able to take long rests, but just enough to get over the hump of thinking about stuff. So, if you're only going to do a hard rest for 2 days, you're probably going to still be thinking about stuff. And long enough so that you can actually do the wind down, actually clock off, and then start to think about coming back, right? Maybe 7 to 10 days, if you can swing it. Soft rests, on the other hand, come in two parts, a part A and a part B, in my humble opinion. Part A is knowing in advance what the seasons and the rhythms of your year is like. Some of us know this. If you have young kids, your rhythms are largely going to be governed by the school term and everything else that goes with that. So this is usually a really frantic period. And so a soft rest means that you're anticipating the seasons of high activity and looking basically to put some short recharges around it. Maybe in the run-up, if that's something that you find is your need, and you intend to intuitive needs and think, oh my gosh, I'm frazzled. I can't find the car keys. I can't remember whether or not I had breakfast. Well, that's probably a cue for you to attend intuitively to say, maybe you need a soft rest because maybe things are getting a bit frantic. A soft rest could look like 2 hours. It could like sleeping in an extra hour. It could look like going for a bit of a longer walk. It could be deciding that you're going to clock off at 6 o'clock and, take the evening off. If you can, a soft rest could even mean the weekend where let's just not do the housework. Let's just, have Vegemite on toast. Let's simplify things. Let's just actually rest. That's one type of soft rest where you're responding to your state of being, your mind, what your body is saying, and you actually decide to give yourself a soft rest. Soft rest type B is when you know ahead of time that, typically it's going to be a really helpful thing to take 2 or 3 days to recharge and restore. For me, that's a personal retreat. I like to have one once a year at least, and generally it's after I usually wear the weight of the business on my shoulder through the December-January period while other people go on leave and things like that. Ooh, my light just went off. That's a bit strange. Just give me a minute while I switch the car back on. There we go. We've got light again. It's probably my cue that I have to go. So it's pre-planned. It's a retreat. Once or twice a year, depending on when it's busy, to recharge, restore, reflect, refuel, regenerate. So can I encourage you right now, if you're feeling the frazzle, if you're feeling discouraged and overwhelmed and like you don't have the resources to keep going, can I suggest that attending to your intuitive cues is probably a great idea. I've written a whole book on what to do. It's called The 6 R's. It's on Amazon. It's really cheap. You could pick that up. My Burnout Prevention Plan, Valerie Ling, and follow those 6 steps this weekend if you like. Can I also suggest that next year, already have it in your mind when you're going to do your hard stop and when you're going to do the soft rest part B, the ones where you already know that those busy periods are there and you're going to anticipate it so that you're going to feel like you've got mastery over it, right? Because part of this whole feeling of the overwhelm is feeling like you're out of control and believing that you haven't done enough and that you're failing. You don't want to feel like that all the time. It's okay. You don't have to have your stuff all together. It's okay. All right, it's time for me to head off. Catch you later.